Hi, my name's Steve Hunt from Coldbeam Games, and today I'm going to be taking you through the Phase 3 release for Beat Hazard 3. So as a reminder, let's just go through the phases. So we had Phase 1, which is just the early access release. Phase 2, lock and load. We added some weapons systems, weapons tweaks, nanotech, all that sort of stuff. Phase 3, which has just been completed and has just been released, is called Ancient Aliens. It's got alien blueprints that are going to be used to unlock new weapons, unlock new technology, some galaxy changes, and some new weapons. So if I go into more detail of what's actually in Phase 3, so we've got the alien blueprints. These are can be found in galaxies at the moment. There'll probably be other ways eventually, but at the moment it's just in galaxies. Well, I've added a new system called Galaxy Scan. So you can add a Galaxy Scan system to your mothership. You can then spend nanotech on scanning a big area of the galaxy, which then highlight valuable resources which you can then go to and capture. There's a brand new ship manufacturer, Wraith ships. Now these ships, again, only found in galaxies, so you have to do your Galaxy Scan, find out where the Wraith ships are. And I've done it slightly differently than from the other manufacturers. So what I've done at the moment is there's 100 Wraith ships that you can find. So they're not generated from the music, they're generated separately from that. And the idea is to try and collect those 100. And when you find a Wraith ship, you can pick anyone you want from that 100. Brand new weapon called Dracaris, which is like a dragon fire weapon, which is pretty powerful, good fun to use. Also reintroduced the Crusader Auto Turret, so it's Crusader Auto Turret 2 because it's been souped up a bit beefier. I'll be adding more weapons as development goes on. I'll probably add a few each time. And then also there's a brand new ship tuning system, and this replaces the Beat Hazard 2 module system where you used to have to find modules and plug them in. Now it's a bit easier. You have to unlock the layers as you go, and then you can override different attributes using the blueprints. But it just makes the whole thing a bit simpler. And there's more things that you can also tweak now. For example, you can tweak the size of your ship, which you didn't used to be able to. You can affect the fire pattern. And there's a new element called Ricochet, which allows you to have a certain percentage of probability that any one bullet might hit a ship, and instead of just disappearing, will ricochet off and cause more damage. So let's go into more detail. I'll just go through. Start with the Galaxy Scan. Let's switch this on. So let's go into Galaxy. I've just set up. Here I am. And if I go to my mothership, to be able to do a scan, you're going to have these Galaxy Scan modules added, and you can have up to 4 of them. So let me just put the 4th one in. Boop. And each time you add one, it obviously enables you to scan further distance. So if I now click on the Galaxy Scan option, zoom out a bit, this is my galaxy, then it costs nanotech to do the scan. Now you get 20,000 light year free scan, so you can actually go around scanning for free if you want. Then obviously if you want to do a bigger scan, it's going to start costing you nanotech up to 80,000 light years. So if I initiate the scan at 80,000 light years, you see this ring go out, and then you can see it's detecting the different resources. The way these things are distributed different ways in different galaxies. So you might find clusters of certain resources in one area but not another. Some of the rarer stuff you might find in a certain belt or in a certain place. So here you can see let me switch this on. Right, okay. So the scrap for building your ship can be found, and I don't think is there any there. Don't think so. You can then get uranium for your sublight travel. That's just trying to make it a bit easier to jump around systems. These are crystal, the fold crystals, which is for your long range travel. So that's again makes it be, if you want to jump around the galaxy quicker, instead of having to collect these things, you can sort of jump to the system, collect some crystals, and then move on. Then we've got, oh there they are, sorry, nanotech cache. So what's that? If you go to this system here, so if I can zoom in, it'll show me the actual planet where that cache is. So if I go and capture that, I'll get some amount of nanotech. When you first, you don't know beforehand how much you're going to get. You've then got alien blueprints, which there aren't any, which look like that. So again, you go to that system, get an alien blueprint. Yet to be done. And wraith ships. So if you see that wraith icon, that means if you go to that planet, you get one of the brand new wraith ships. So let me just do a quick travel and shoot over here, for example, and I'll do another scan when I get here to see if I can find something, some wraith ships or something. Quite like the look of these new little fins on the back for the the galactic scan, quite cool. So let's do another big scan. See what we find. Lots of resources, nothing much else. What I'll probably do, see if I can do it. Let me travel to, whoops. Let me travel to nearer the middle and see what's there. The reason I just went to the armory is because I've just got a little cheat that tops up my resources, just to make it easier to demo, so I don't have to spend time collecting more crystals. Okay, let's go over here. Do another scan. Let's do a maximum range scan. Go. See what we can find. There we go. Ooh. So, blimey. In the centre of this galaxy, so there's a whole ton of scrap on this side, which we can go and get. Nanotech if we need that. Whole load of blueprints in the middle. There's a lot there. And then these wraith ships. So if I wanted one of the new wraith ships, oops, did I miss it? I can go to that system and go and grab one. I need to make this a little bit easier. So there you go, that planet there has got a wraith ship on it. And in the case of multiplayer galaxies, if more than one person is in the galaxy collecting resources, that resource only exists once. So once someone gets it, it's gone for everybody else. Which you can do, if you do list events in a galaxy, it will show you everything that happens, so where I've done my scans, and if I go and pick something up, that will be recorded. So that's the new scan system, which I think makes different parts of the galaxies have different resources and different reasons to go there, so it's sort of being uniform. This is only one addition to galaxies. There's going to be the next phase. Actually, is all about beefing up the galaxy gameplay. So there'll be loads more stuff coming in that area. If I go back to my phase 3, okay, right, let me show you. Okay, so wraith ships was the next one. I've got a few already, so let me show you the wraith ship. In fact, my current ship is a pristine Instinct Wraith Elite 44, so that's 44 of 100. Let me go into my ship hangar. Oh, there we go, the Wraith Empire. So these ships have got different visual elements on it that none of the other ships have got, and they've also got some good advantages in terms of damage, but they're not so good at things like resource collection. Should we go to details? Yeah. We'll come back to that later, because when we go into ship tuning. So okay, we've got two new weapons. Let's have a look at those. So we've got Dracaris. So I can easily go to Armory and select that weapon. I've currently got it, sort of unlocks and set into overdrive mode. So we go and test it. So what it does is, I press space. Basically, emits a massive load of fire, which then travels across the screen relatively slowly and then burns out. Do it again, and then I can sort of twist the ship and obviously distribute those flames however I see fit. And those flames are absolutely devastating. They will kill the ships, they'll kill missiles, they'll kill photons, it will even knock out shields. So in a way it's almost like this barrier. What you can see is the stuff's hitting it, it's just getting battered. Let's get these guys. Might look a bit overpowered, but the drop rate is relatively low, and because of the speed you've got to try and sort of predict a little bit ahead where you want it, and if you get it a bit wrong you can sort of end up wasting one. But it's great for like crowd control and those panic moments where you just want to calm everything down, or maybe there's a load of guys with shields that you're having problems with and you can just blast them with this. Pretty good on bosses. If the boss is quite big, it's not as effective. Not that good on snake bosses. Sort of okay with the spidery boss, but a well aimed jet of flame do a lot of damage, take out a lot of bad guys. But it can also, if one of the ships is firing a beam into it, it will actually cut through the fire and then come out the other side. So each bit of fire essentially is its own little projectile. So as the ship hits it, it'll eat away at that part of the flame. So that's quite nice when there's a lot of ships like chipping away at it and they slowly burn through it. It's pretty cool. So that's Dracaris, which I quite like. That funny enough, actually, I don't know if you remember the old Ultra Beam. I was trying to think, how can I make the Ultra Beam better? Because it's never that popular weapon, and that's what it's morphed into. So that's sort of like its origin is the Ultra Beam. I've also got the Crusader Auto turrets. So these are more like being able to set up a defence. I sort of like shoving them on the edge of the screens and overlapping them, and then they'll just fire away. They can't be killed. They'll just fire away at whatever comes in range until they run out of ammunition. So you can sort of just forget about them. They are pretty lethal. They're a little bit dumb as well. If something moves past them quite quickly, they might struggle to get it. Or a ship going fast anyway wouldn't probably get much damage applied to it. Shields, they won't penetrate shields, but I mean they're great for if I can sort of hide behind it, and a lot of these missiles get taken out before they get to me. So once powered up, I quite like these. Again, they're good for crowd control, and in a way, it's nice if you cluster them together. You can almost just sort of forget about one half of the screen and then focus on the other half. And they're very quick to deploy, so you can sort of go bang, bang, bang as you're running around, and then forget about them. And like I say, they sort of last indefinitely until they run out of ammo. So there's no time limit. It doesn't matter if you place one, I don't know, a bit earlier or the wrong place. It will always be used somehow. I've added these nice tracer bullets. In fact, also the turret itself fires 3 shots in one go. With the old one, fire 1 shot at a time. See how this snake does? It probably do a lot of damage because that snake's just passed. In fact, killed it. Passed through 4 or 5 turrets. And he managed to finish it off. And because I've powered up the ammunition on these, overdrive the ammunition, they're pretty lethal, lasts quite a long time. So that's the Crusader Auto Turret 2, and let me pop over here. The last last item on phase 3 was a new tuning system for the ship, so let's go and have a look at that. So this applies any ship you get, you can then just go into here and go to ship tuning. There is no sort of requirements anymore to have any modules collected, so that's sort of more accessible. What I've done is So you get a number of points, similar to the way the weapon works, a number of points to use to start with. I've maxed this out, so you have to spend nanotech in unlocking more points, and then there's every element you can set into overdrive. So you can, say if you want your top speed, for example, to be really high, that's not enough. You can spend one blueprint to then unlock the overdrive section and then really ramp up that aspect of the ship. So we've got, from last time, scale is new, top speed is the same, acceleration, deceleration, bullet damage, bullet speed, bullet ricochet. In fact, let's I'll demo that actually. Let's put a ricochet right at the top and just quickly demo it. What you'll hear is the little pinging noises and blue. Let me get the beat hazard going. Little blue indicators. Oh yeah, there we go. It's already working. Little blue sort of indicators of where it's ricocheting. And if you look, you'll see them bouncing around and then going into other ships and causing more damage. And there's no limit. It's all done on a percentage probability, so it's currently highest you can get is 30%. But each time it happens, that bullet has a 30% chance of continuously ricocheting around. Oops. So you can see it's quite good for busy screens, because a lot of the bullets essentially get reused. And there, I don't know if you saw it, this was sort of by accident, but I quite like it. If I use the super bomb, the ricochet affects the super bomb elements as well, so they actually got the probability of bouncing around. And it did make me wonder whether to apply that to some other weapons. So ricochet on a ship could apply to, you know, like the auto turret, maybe. So let me know what you think. So yeah, I think that makes it a bit crazier on the eye, which is always a good thing. But in a way, that's sort of a cost to the power of it. It's slightly busier. So that's ricochet. I like that. Also added options to increase the dark beam strength and duration. So if you're on a level where you just need that extra option to deal with shields, that's always a really good thing. Pick up force, which we had before, which you may want to put up or down depending on the ship you've got. Pick up life, which makes those pick-up items last longer. I've also added a resource pick-up force. So if there's scrap, uranium or fault crystals, they will now get attracted to your ship for collection if you set that up. Last two, beam sweep size. If you've got one of those ships where it goes wah, 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 sprays bullets everywhere, that's it sweeping, and the size of that sweep can now be adjusted. I didn't want to make it so you can completely change it, because you don't want the tuning to be so effective that you can sort of make any ship you want, because it would just sort of spoil the idea of finding ships. So you can alter that sweep size. So if it's too big, you can sort of narrow it down to make it a bit more focused, or you can actually make it a bit bigger if you've got one that only wobbles a little bit. And then sweep angle is basically the offset. Sometimes you get a ship that sort of fires off this way, and you don't get much in the middle, so you end up where you've not got no power focused in the middle of the ship. So now you can change that offset positively or negatively to sort of adjust where the focus of the beams are. So that's quite handy, but again, it's not so powerful that you can completely retune the ship into another one. So the idea, this is what it's supposed to be, like tuning rather than completely altering the ship. So that was the last thing on phase 3. It should all be out now. This, I've said it's complete. Obviously there's still bug fixing, balancing, there's more stuff I want to tweak, but in essence, this phase is done and I'll be going on to the next one. But I always revisit bits that have gone by based on feedback from you guys, so don't think it's set in stone. So let's just have a recap of, let's go back, of the phases. So yeah, the next major part of work I'll be going on to is the Galaxy upgrades, which will be making the whole thing have more structure. So I want to have a zone galaxies. So when you capture something, you essentially get an area around that planet that you then own, and then if someone wants to capture it back, they have to go on a special mission to get it. And then so different people will have different areas of the map. That will also work in terms of groups of people, so it won't just be loads of different blobbers of galaxy belonging to lots of different people. We could have factions, so you might have two main factions, and you're all working together to try and get increase your area of the galaxy. Galaxy challenges, which I think would be quite good. So maybe a week-long challenge in an automatically generated galaxy where there's a thing to achieve. It might be collecting resources, capturing territory, something along those lines. And your reward would probably be, obviously whether you win or lose, also maybe in proportion in terms of the amount that you contribute to that victory. Still thinking on that. Galaxy factions and teams, so team play within Galaxy. And then also to have PvP rules where you can join a galaxy where essentially the main point of that game will be to probably capture and fight. Might be 2 teams, 3 teams. But then also co-op galaxies where the main focus is more on exploration. So it might be a group of 5 or 6 of you, and you're not really fighting anyone. You're just sort of all going out and exploring and gathering resources together, exploring music, finding things. So you just cut out the adversarial side of it. Makes it a bit more casual, a bit more fun, a bit more laid back, which is like the whole point of the game. And you want to be able to play this game in a casual, relaxed manner, or you want to be able to play it sort of extreme in a competitive sense. Excuse me. And then phase 6 after that would be focuses onto the mothership, which would be weapons platforms like auto aim, asteroid deflect, and then some new cool stuff which is more like area weapons that would be either triggered by you or maybe automatic, that in certain circumstances the mothership can bombing past and nuke a load of stuff. I think that would be quite cool. Cosmetics, I'd also like to be able to make it so you can alter your mothership in different ways to make it look different from other people. Not quite sure on how that would work yet. And then that would pretty much be come out of early access at that point. How long that 4, 5 and 6 phases will take, not sure. I'd like to think it's going to be 5 to 6 months to get all that done. Maybe even quicker, hopefully. So that's a quite a long run through of Beat Hazard 3 Phase 3 Ancient Aliens. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you've got any feedback, bang it on the forums, bang it on the comments. Always open to suggestions, always reworking the game and tweaking things. A lot of balancing needs doing, so let me know about that sort of stuff. And thanks for watching. See you next time.